Hi, all. This is Param. Uh, in this series of playlist, we have discussing about the Korean DSL, right? So, of course, the one thing I want to share based on my experience, okay, Korean DSL is a JSON syntax, right? It is not like SQL 99 something. It's a JSON syntax. The good thing about the Korean syntax is Korean DSL is it's a JSON, so you can add any structure. Okay, so it is not like only this. It is not going to only restricted to those keyword. If like say for example, if it is SQL 99 or SQL 2001, you have to use your query. Okay, only based on the syntax. Okay, which is provided or accepted when implementing your database. When implementing your database, that's why we will say like Oracle. Let's say Oracle 8 is 2001 9 compliant, or MySQL DB, MySQL or MS SQL Server is 2001 compliant, something that's how they will see. So the SQL syntax standard is defined. That syntax has to be adapted by the particular when a RDBMS implementation, right? But here is different. Okay, since it is a JSON, okay, I can be it can be any structure. Okay, I can add any keyword. Okay, so that is the good thing. But again, that is a bad thing. Yes, how come now? You can't remember everything. That is very sure. You cannot remember completely purpose or syntax or when you have to use which field or which parameter. Okay, or which type of the query. It's very tough. Believe me, it's very tough. Okay, that is the drawback of query DSL. It's very tough to remember all the stuff. Even the real time projects, okay, when using query DSLs, it's very tough to select the particular type of the query. It can be a compound query, it can be a full text query, it can be a term level query, okay, or it can be a just span related query. So maybe we can select based on the data field, maybe. So that the data type can be force us, say for example, if I want to search in the keyword field, obviously I will first prefer the term level query. Okay, within the terminal query, there are several types, right? Within the terminal query, you can see here. Okay, I think I have its terminal query. You can see here regular expression range, prefix, exist, fuse, ID, wildcard. So again, which one I have to use? Then let's say if I use term range. So again, I cannot remember what are the fields are supported or parameters supported. So obviously, that's why even certification exam also they are enabling access to our documentation. So of course, range is simple and less than or equal to greater than or equal to. Okay, maybe boost may be applied. Okay, if it's let's say prefix or let's say fuse, it's a very lengthy, right? Maybe ID is very simple. Okay, we will be using the array of IDs. Okay. So the number of parameters on each level or type of the query is little bit tough, little bit tough. Okay. So anyhow, okay. So that with that heads up, okay, the heads ups, we are going to look at the full text query. So obviously full text query we are going to most of the times, okay, 98% of times, okay, we will be using on the text field. So because of full text means text is analyzed by the analyzer. So analyzer what it will do, rather than saving as a given text, it will do analyze, it will tokenize, okay, and it will remove the character tokenizer, okay. So there are many things it happen. So the analyzer work on the text field, right? So while querying also we will be using the same set of analyzer by default if we are not specifying. Other of course we can specify different analyzer in the querying time as well, okay. Okay. For the full text query, here we have these many types. Okay, query string, query string, simple query string, individuals, boolean max. Actually, the difference between these different type of query is very minimal. Okay, so internally how it is converted. The full text query, if I say full text query, internally how it is converted is based on the boolean or based on the match or match phrase something. Okay, so that's how it will be vary. That's how it will be vary. Okay, but let's start with the query strings. Okay, let us start with the query strings. Okay, query string is very simple. Okay, we can give the query, we can give the string. So let's say name this and what is and or so let's say so we are going to say the field. Let's say query string is going to be multi field. most of the queries will be multi-field. Okay, so that means it can search on multiple field, okay, not only single field. Okay, so query string support the multi-field. Okay, it supports almost 22 parameter. I will explain what is the purpose of them. Okay, then other thing is query string is it's very strict about syntax. If the syntax is not match is not perfect, then it will give error. Okay, but simple query strings are straight opposite. Okay, again it will support all the parameters, but it will not worry about it. It will not complain or it will not raise error regarding syntax. Okay, that is how they differ, query string and simple query strings. Okay, then okay, it's as I said, it support multiple field. We are giving the query. So query means we are not specifying the field name. Okay, field name is we will specify separate field. In the query is a string. In the strings we will okay. Let me open my postman. Okay, so here you can see that in the query we are giving only the value. Okay, in the query we are giving only the value. Okay, so how the value is first? Okay, so it could be a New York City or it could be a Big Apple. That's it. Okay, so but in which field I want to search? That is a content field by default field. Okay, here we guess I have not specified the field array. Okay, if I specify the field array can have one or more fields. Of course, 0 or more, right? Yeah, no, one or more. It must be one or more. Otherwise, default field will be used. Okay, for matching. So as I said, it's a full text. Obviously, analyzer play a very important role. Okay, analyzer play very important role. Okay, so analyzer used while indexing time as well and querying time as well. Okay, based on since query analyzer is there, obviously the given string, okay, the given value string, let me say is a value string. Okay, actually they can say instead of query, they can say they might have renamed like value string or field value, something like that, right? Or field value, something, yeah. Because if we are not specifying anything, right? Okay, only the operator we are specifying. Okay, that's fine. Instead of query, they can say value something. It's my opinion. Okay. Okay, so we are here we have given the query string. So okay, so it is so it has two value, either this one or that one. Okay. So of course, based on the tokenizer, this given query string is tokenized. Okay. Of course, already we have given operator. Okay. So operator, of course, default field which is the default the default field. If the none of the field is specified explicitly, then the default field will be used for querying. So tokenizer, you know something. So analyzer is used. Okay, analyzer is used. Okay, it can be multiple from it can search on multiple field. Okay, now what else parameter? So that according to the parameter only, the behavior of query strings will be vary. The by default what it is strict and query syntax. Okay, so you cannot use something like that. Okay, any arbitrary value. Now I will explain what are the parameters. So because of knowing these parameters is important. So that's how we can change the behavior of query strings. Okay. Of course, I agree that we no need to use all the parameter in all the times, but we should be familiar with this parameter, one thing, and we should know there is some parameter at least. Okay, we should know there is some parameter to tweak the behavior of this query string. Okay. So it would be good if I walk through there itself. So I will go there itself. Okay. So obviously query it's a value, right? It's a value to the field. So default field I have explained. Okay. Even if a default field is not specified by default, it's a cluster level or index level. It is star. So that means all the fields are used for searching. So by default, nested searching we are not supporting. Okay, nested is separate query. Okay, so here you can see some nested join query. Okay, so allow leading wildcard. So what is now either wildcard can be allowed in the query string or not. Okay, so let's say instead of giving like New York City, I can say like n star. Okay, single character. Okay, single character can be anything, any character new. Okay, so let me save. Okay, so there is no problem in the query. Okay, so that is what. So we have to specify default is true, fortunately. Okay, then analyze wildcard. Okay, either can be give wildcard itself as a value. So let's say what is now instead of giving like this. Okay, can I say like it start with param and it can have any character. Okay, then number of times should be 8 times. Okay, any character, but it should be 8 characters. Then it should end with something. Okay, end with okay. Let's say end with Murthy. Okay, so this go. Okay, either I can use wild card or not. No, it is a regular expression, right? So wild card means something different. Okay, it can be star, something like, let's say it can be star, then Murthy. Okay, so I can accuse this is the wild card. That's what. So that is what pattern. Okay, wild card analyzer, wild card. Of course, analyzer, you know what is the name of the analyzer by default field. Okay, then auto generate synonyms query. Okay, by default it is true. What is auto? Okay, so the multi it will generate synonyms. Obviously, here we have given name. Okay, if we are saying like good, person, then what is synonyms persons? Okay, what is synonyms for person? Men. Yeah, men is synonyms. Okay, good means of course good. Okay, then what is synonyms for good synonyms? Perfect, maybe beauty, something, whatever, or look fit, something. Okay, so these synonyms can be taken or not. So by default it is true, I think. Yes, by default is true. Okay, so it will generate the synonyms frames. So synonyms. Okay, synonyms. So that's what saying. The default is true. So obviously it is true. Okay, the match phrase query it automatically create a multi-time synonyms. Okay, boost. It is very common across all the multi-times. Boost value we can give. So if it is greater than 0, greater than 1, it will increase the relevant score. If it is less than, it is less than 1, then it will reduce the relevant score. That's what. Okay. Then default ability. This is also same for all of the type, all of the query. So it could be R and okay, by default R. Okay. Enable position increment. Yeah, enable position increment is true. So what is now? See, either can we adjust the things. Okay, here positions good. Okay, here in between good person it will match. Whether this can match like good, good exe person. Okay, exe no. Good employee. Okay, that's something. Either this can match or not. This is what adjustment. This is what the adjustment. So field is a field array of the field that has to be searched. Fusioness, it's common to many things. Based on the sound, it will match or not. Here, then it will be here. So here means what? There are two things. If I say here, okay, it can match it to the here also, right? Fusioness. HEIR. Right. So this since sound is same. Okay. Sound is same. If I change one or two character, then can I add that term also in the searching? That's what. So if I say here, it will match the here also. That is what. Either that can be part of the query or not. That's what. I have given here. Okay. Let me move. Okay. I have given here. Okay. Either this can be part of the query or not. That is what talks about the fusioness. Okay. It's optional strings. Okay. Then expansion, how many fusions? Okay, how many things? It's only 50. Then how many character cannot touch it in the prefix? Okay. Then transmission. Okay, how many character can be transported to identify number of pattern? Yeah, since they have 15, so by default 50. If you want to, obviously 50 is still very costly. Okay. If you want to increase, you can increase to 100. Okay. Then whatever the possible different fish term, it will generate. Then transpositions, okay, true, okay, by default true, good. Then lenient I said, so it's strict. It's a strict. So you can say lenient means either for the problems we can give error or not. That's what. If it is lenient, say if I give a number for a string value, then it will give error or not. That's what lenient. So you can say true or false, right? Then max determined state. The regular expression, how many state can be generates. Okay, my name should match. Something. It's how many classes should match to return a document. Let's say I have two classes in my query. At least one or two should match to return the document. That's all. Code analyzer.
some of the code, right? It is type of analyzer, standard analyzer, similarly code analyzer. So which is code analyzer has to be used. Then phrase slope, either in between any phrase can be allowed or not. Okay, by default 0, that means it should be matched exactly. If it is so let's say 1 or 2, then in between how many tokens can be analyzed. What happened to me? Okay, so here come. Okay, if I say slopes 1, here you come, that also will be matched. Rewrite, then of course code prefix, suffix. Okay, it's again if it is for the code analyzer it will be used. Okay, rewrite, it's common. Okay, how the rewrite, as I told you, so many of the queries rewritten in low level. Full time text இருக்கட்டும், so let it be a full text search, or let it be a term level search. Okay, it is rewrite. Okay, then time zone, of course you can give the time zone for the date field. That's why but most of the times we will be using for text. Okay, we will be using for text, but if you are using for date field, then how the time zone if you want to convert from one to another, that's what. So these are the different parameters. So as I said, many of the parameters same, many of the parameters will be repeated for many types of the queries. Only the thing is these parameters tweak the default behavior of the query strings. Okay, I will explain in detail what is advanced level of query strings. Okay, in the next video. Thanks for watching.